everyone, welcome to OV Hobbies. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today is a very big day. We're actually tackling our very first project. We need to do this first because a welding table is going to allow us to start tackling bigger and better projects in the future. There's three things that we need to focus on for this welding table. We need to make sure that one, we can lift it up and down. Two, we need to have a cutting portion so that we're not cutting on the ground. And three, of course, we need to have a nice flat surface area that we can start assembling all our future projects together. It's taken a lot of time, preparation, and planning to get to the point where we're at right now, which is getting ready to start our first project, which is going to be this welding table. We've had to buy 3 new whole bottles of gas. We had to find new fittings for one of the bottles of gas because we didn't have the right connector for that. We had to get a new welder, we had to get some new grinders, some other tools that we'll need to tackle this project, but now we're ready to go. So with all that said, let's just get straight into it. All right, so we've got everything measured out. The next thing we need to start working on is cutting. We have everything that we need. It's all marked. Unfortunately, we don't have the proper equipment for cutting square tubing. Hopefully that goes all right. What we do have is an angle grinder, which we can put a cutting wheel on, as well as an oxyacetylene torch. We'll probably use the torch just because it's quicker. Should be able to do it if I'm careful, but we'll just have to see. We'll see after then. I was totally intending on finishing the project today, however the weather decided they had different plans. Alright guys, so it's the next day. We made a change of plans. We're not going to be cutting the square tubing with the oxyacetylene torch. We instead went out and bought a circle saw that we can just set on the ground and we'll cut the square tubing that way. It should make it a lot better for our cuts as well as later on down the road. So we had to back up a little bit on that change of plans. We were going to cut all of the tubing with the chop saw. However, we had a problem with the chop saw. It dulled a little bit early on us, so we did have to actually resort to cutting it with the oxyacetylene torch. So we have everything cut. The next thing we need to start doing is we need to start fitting everything together, start welding it in place, and then we get a good idea about how everything's gonna look. Last thing I need to do is I need to grind down this side of the table because right now it doesn't align with the angle iron that we need to use for the cutting portion of the table. Once that's ground down, we can weld the angle iron onto it and then start fitting everything together. Alright, so we're gonna have to call it a day. We finished grinding the entire tabletop. We've welded on one piece of the angle iron that's gonna go to the cutting portion of the table. Unfortunately, we had to stop because we're having a gas leak with the argon going to our MIG welder. We can't do good welds and this needs to be structurally sound because it is a very heavy table. We're gonna have to come back to this in a couple of days once we figure out how to fix the hose, either get a new hose clamp or we're gonna have to get a new hose. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but apparently we're getting a new hose. So that's part one of our two-part series, hopefully, of building this welding table. If you liked what you saw, please like, share, comment, and let us know what you'd like to see in the future. If you want to follow us more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can follow our future projects.